Let's talk about some myths about SEO for dog trainers. Stick with me. SEO stands for search engine optimization. I'm spitting on myself. Search engine optimization. Many of you know that already, but many of you are still under the mistaken belief that you can just kind of do it yourself, set it up one time, or pay somebody to do that thing to my website, and then magically you're going to start ranking at the top of Google when somebody searches for a dog trainer in your city. And I'm here to tell you that unless you live in Podunk, middle of nowhere, Sioux City, Iowa, if you're in any type of competitive market, that just ain't going to work. Okay, or it's going to work for a little bit and then it's going to stop working. I'm going to get into why in just a moment. But first, if you haven't yet, head on over to dogtrainertoolbox.com. That's dogtrainertoolbox.com and check out some of the services and information products and trainings, and even some free stuff and cool interviews with people who went from living in their car to making over $2 million a year with their dog training business. Head on over to dogtrainertoolbox.com and take a look and see if there's something there that might be able to help you grow your dog training business. Now, to the issue. If we look at local search results, and I'm here in Reno, Nevada, northern Nevada, so I typed in dog trainer near me, you'll notice that the first three results up here are actually ads. This is called pay-per-click. This is what, when we talk about Google Ads, used to be called Google AdWords, this is what we're talking about. It's actually a modified auction system. And one of the services that we provide at Dog Trainer Toolbox is providing the service to get you ranked here. And this is something that basically you're paying for that position. It takes a day, literally from the time you turn the account on, your rankings will start coming up. The funny thing about Google Ads is that even though you see it says ad in the upper left-hand corner, they've done studies and they found that close to 50% of people doing searches, when they click on these, they don't even realize that they're ads. So this isn't SEO. This is Google Ads. That's separate. Now, when you scroll down here, you have what's called the snack pack. I don't know why they call it the snack pack. I can't remember. This is basically Google's maps, Google's directory, and getting ranked in here is important. It's also a subset of SEO. It's a separate kind of discipline, if you will. And that's important too, because the idea is that you want to take up as much real estate on the first page as you possibly can. So if you have your ad showing up here, and then you come up in the snack pack, and then right below the snack pack is what we call organic SEO, organic search engine optimization. And this area right here, these listings are determined by Google based on primarily two things: on-site SEO and off-site SEO. On-site means what's on your actual site. Okay, what is your site talking about? How is it designed? How does it look? Are the keywords that you're using, do they match what people are searching for? What does it say on the website? And that's what most people think is the extent of SEO. The other aspect, though, that's only maybe 20%. The other 80% is what's called off-site SEO, and that is what Google sees around the internet about what people are saying about your website. So if it looks at 50 or 100 or 200 different websites related to dogs or dog training or related to your city, and it keeps seeing these links back to your website, Google says, wow, this must be a pretty important website. We're going to rank it higher. But ranking it higher means still coming up right here below the snack pack, below the ads. Okay. But what will happen is you'll come up for all kinds of hundreds of different search terms. That's the idea, anyways, behind the SEO stuff. And SEO, the benefit to SEO is that it's free, quote unquote, although you need to either put in your time or your money to have an SEO expert do it for you. So it's not technically free, but once you get ranked, it doesn't matter if, like, for example, this is, I know the dog trainer, it's the local dog trainer in Malika. Every time I click on this, she's not getting charged, okay? Because that's organic SEO. If I go up here, and I'm not going to click on it, but if I click on one of these, or sometimes ads come up at the very bottom, like right here, here's So it means, and again, I know it's an ad because it says ad right here. If I were to click on that, which I won't, but if I were to click on that, it would charge her anywhere from $2 to $6, depending on the market and the keyword that she's bidding on. So SEO really is about coming up in this space in here, all in here. So what happens, for example, if you run an ad and the ad is showing up here somewhere, and then you get into the snack pack right here, and then you also come up towards the top of SEO rankings, now you're really dominating a lot of the real estate that you want to be dominating in order for people to find you in your market. So here's the myth. The myth is that you're going to install the latest, greatest SEO plugin for your WordPress site, or you're going to hire some guy off Fiverr or Upwork or something like that and give him a couple $100 and he's going to do that SEO thing to your website. And it just doesn't work that way if you're in any type of competitive market. So what happens is Google needs to stay ahead of everybody by constantly changing the algorithm. The algorithm is how Google determines where to rank your site. And there are some fundamentals like what I talked about before, on-site and off-site, but there are also little things that they're doing to change it up so that you don't figure out how to game the system. Now, let's say though, you get those fundamentals in place and you set it and forget it. And now your site's ranking really well. You're in that #1 position and you've done that in a very small market where there's not a lot of competition. But somebody else moves to your city and they decide they need to get their website ranked. So they start doing all the same things you do. And pretty soon their website is ranking on top of yours and your website is pushed down. Somebody else comes into the market, does the same thing. Now your website's farther down. So it's not a static thing. You need to be constantly upgrading those citations and those directory listings and tweaking your on-site SEO, because you may have something that works this week and then next week the ranking's not so good. So you tweak something, you change it, and then you let it sit for a couple of weeks and you see how it does. Did the rankings go up? Did the rankings go down? If they went up, do more of that. If they went down, switch it back to the way it was or try testing something else. So that is a very, very, it's an expansive topic, and I'm probably going to do a whole series on SEO for dog trainers. But in a nutshell, this idea that you're just going to do SEO as if it was like, I'm going to take the car in to get it painted and then that's it. Now the car's blue. Well, it's not quite that way. It's more like getting the car washed, and in a week, you're going to have to wash it again. You're going to have to constantly do something to keep it clean, i.e. you're going to have to constantly be doing this stuff to make sure that your website continues to get ranked. Another thing that people don't talk about so frequently is updating with quality content, adding articles to your site. Google sees that and says, hey, this website's fresh, let's rank it higher. So you've got all these different factors, the inbound links and the on-site stuff and freshness of the site and how closely the keywords on the website match what people are searching for. All of this stuff goes into the equation. And it's always a work in progress, because not only are new people coming into your market and trying to get that top spot, but Google is constantly changing the algorithm. So there's more to it than just, here's $200, do that SEO thing on my website. That's the big myth. Hey, check out on Facebook, the Dog Trainer Marketing Group. It's a group that we have of over 2,100 dog training business owners just like you, who are swapping tips and secrets about what works for them to grow their dog training business. And like I mentioned before, if you haven't yet, visit dogtrainertoolbox.com to learn how to grow your dog training business and get to the next level. I'm Adam Katz for dogtrainertoolbox.com. Talk to you soon, guys.